What I have here is an 11 by 14 sheet of Bristol board. You want to use Bristol board because we're going to be painting acrylic on top. So I'm going to measure out my value scale for my acrylic value scale. And the instructions say to measure 1 3/8. So 1 inch plus 1 2 3/8. If you don't know what 3/8 is, please watch the how to read a ruler video over again, please. So I'm going to measure 1 3/8 near the top and near the bottom. You always want to measure out at least 2 points when you're making a long line so that your ruler doesn't pivot. Now I don't need the whole line. I'm just going to put a line, a vertical line, kind of where I know my scale is going to be, and very light so that I can erase it. That's a little bit darker than I would do if I were just making the value scale on my own, but for the video, I want to make it just a little bit darker so you can see it. So I'm going to do the same thing on the right side, 1 3/8. Okay, so from the top and the bottom, it says 4 inches. So I'm going to measure 4 inches down. And 4 inches up. Okay, so here's the outer perimeter of my scale. Now the instructions say that this should be 3 inches high. I'm double checking. Yes, it's 3 inches high. And the steps should be 1 1/4 inches wide. So okay, 1 1/4 inches wide. So you want to measure 1 1/4 all the way down. Okay, so again, remember, I made these lines a little bit darker because I want you to see them in the video, but you see what happens? Even when I make them, like they're not too dark, but they're darker than is ideal. Look what happens when I erase. I can't get rid of it. It stains the paper. Okay. And that's fine because we're going to cut this out after we're done painting it, but I still want you to get in the habit of being able to control the pressure so that you reduce the amount of erasing that you have to do. The other thing I like to do is take a kneaded eraser and blot up some of the graphite, right? So I'm not erasing it completely. I can see it. But this helps me to lift up some of the graphite so that when I go to paint on top of it, the lines don't show through the lighter values. On the value scale, it's not really that critical, but if you're drawing out a layout on a sheet of paper and then you're going to paint on top of it, which is what we're going to do next after we learn how to mix our values, you want to lift up that graphite. You want it to be very light, almost not noticeable, just light enough to be able to see it, so that when you paint on top of it, you don't see the graphite underneath those lighter values. If you draw the lines really light to begin with, you won't have that additional labor that I just had to do.